Wow. So I know it's ESP, and I know that he's not an insider, but he just put up a really interesting poll. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because it's a very interesting poll. And he has put out a poll 1 minute ago. Who do you want more, Bijan or Jalen Carter? Currently 78% of the vote to Bijan Robinson. Now 63%. Nope, 78% to Bijan.
So that makes sense too, though, because you got to figure who's looking most at his. It's fans too, and
now 63% Jalen Carter.
I was waiting. I was waiting for that flip.
It's very much like it's very much the fan wants the sexy. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm the fan who wants the sexy pick.
And the sexy pick is usually. It's weird because we're not always that, but the typical fan usually wants the sexy pick. The sexy pick is the running back, not the lineman, which the Eagles do all the time. But Jalen Carter is the sexy pick too.
This has been my Bijan thing. If one of the top 5 players is there, I want one of the top 5 players. Jalen Carter being one of them. So after that, I'm good with it. But if Jalen's there, if they're both there and they take Bijan, I'm gonna feel a certain way about it. I don't know that I'm gonna dislike it, but
if Christian Gonzalez doesn't go here, though, there's another name that I'm perfectly okay with at 10.
I'm not a huge Gonzalez fan, but he's another guy who's
Bradbury, Slay, and Gonzalez, and then because Slay's kind of cooking a little bit, he's on the back 9. So like to have an instant replacement for him, I mean, like, that's not a bad way to go. Although we know that the line in the trenches is where you win. This, that, and the third. Wow, what a night! What a night! And the Eagles haven't done a thing. It's like.
They're just hanging around.
It's just all these other things are happening that are Howie just must be sitting in that war room just like
there's a really legit chance that they might trade back up into this thing with if the Bijan sweepstakes keeps looking good.
What'd you say? One more time?
I think there's a really good if let's say
he goes and gets Carter at 10, trades back up.
Yeah.
I could see it. I said it earlier.
Right now, look, everything like we have said, and there's still 2, 3 more quarterbacks that could go. There's a potential 4, 5 quarterbacks go this first round.
Levis has got to be the end of it.
I mean, Hooker could. I know he's got the surgery, but he could be a back end option.
Again, there's probably
I know it's the
4
NFL.
or 5. At least one more is still to come. The more quarterbacks that go, the better. The more things like Greg said.
Wow,
things are really working.
I just missed it.
Our favor right
I
now.
just saw it. Oh man! Wow.
Well,
and now you think to yourself, Jalen Carter is going to go to the Bears, and now everything is screwed up.
So the Falcons took
wow
in at number 8.
Yeah. I can't believe it, man. Like that's crazy.
Wow. Falcons take Bijan Robinson.
I went to
and now I'm just like I got a cough, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Like my mom's calling. Someone's knocking at the door.
That's all right.
Yeah, but the Bears are gonna take him, and now he's gonna be screwed out of both of his guys. Then we trade
back and we go get Nolan Smith.
Or he takes Skoronski.
He's gonna take Gonzalez, hopefully.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's the thing of it is at this point you are left with top 5 non-quarterback talent.
But it's not Bijan.
I know.
At least you know what though.
You didn't pass
at least we had no shot. At least Howie didn't pass on him. At least another team didn't trade up to get him. At least just like when everybody wanted Jamar Chase. At least the Bengals took him, and that was gone.
Yep.
You know, so there's that. You know, so if I'm gonna convince myself of anything, it's that. I don't know. We never had a shot.
Falcons are not a team that's ready to win, though.
Yeah,
I'm not Bijan. That's a horrible spot for Bijan to land.
I don't get that.
Bad spot for them to land too.
The only thing is though that Tampa Bay is on their way down. That is a winnable division for anybody. Like New Orleans doesn't scare you.
Yeah, but great that it's a winnable division, but you got to think about winnable league.
Yeah,
they're running Desmond Ritter out there. They ain't winning that.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Derek Carr's going to win his first division title.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now like Tyler Algier must be sitting like, what else did I have to do? Like,
Yeah.
what else did now? Maybe he gets traded or something like
But to
that.
be fair, Algier's a different type of back. So
Sure, absolutely, but
that's not
doesn't
a bad
matter.
two-headed monster.
Yeah, but do you need one with Bijan? Now for
I think
every
that's
fantasy
them saying
football
we're going to
player
run
out
two
there,
running backs out there every day because we don't believe in our quarterback.
every single fantasy football player is like Bijan just slipped down the board for me because now he's not splitting carries, but he's not going to be the feature back, and he's not going to be in an offense that is particularly sexy. You know, Drake London, good job. Kyle Pitts, awesome, but every Falcon is going to get taken in the first 2 rounds, and they're still going to suck. So,
well, I mean, the thing with Algier was a 5th-round pick.
yeah,
He played fine.
In other unrelated news, is from Murph in chat. Another unrelated news: Hawks hanging in with the Celtics. Come on, Game 7. The one thing about games, regardless of how many games it goes, we know that the series is going to start Monday. But assuming it's against the Celtics at least. But yeah, I mean, might as well let them play as many games as they can.
Go Hawks. Why
get
not?
as little rest as possible.
Sixers aren't beating the Celtics, so whatever.
I would love any opportunity to crush that little boy.
Oh, Trey. I mean, yeah. If Trey, if they can, there's no way the Hawks are going to win that series. But man, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Hopefully, I just put the Anthony Pinto curse on them too. But
I don't think it works when you actively want them to lose, though.
Yeah, it only works when it's against when it's a Phillies team. Joe's still on the Sixers to the finals, which you've been saying it for a while, and God bless. But yeah, I'm with Greg. I don't see them getting past the second round.
Yep, again,
assuming
2001
it's against the Celtics.
Right.
We assuming Joel plays more than 2 games in this next series.
Who knows?
As soon as the Bears make their pick,
there's always some sort of excuse, and I've grown numb to it. It's kind of like
the Eagles have just traded up into this spot.
What, into 9?
To 9.
So the Eagles
They're on the clock.
Eagles are getting.
So they're going to get Carter.
They gave up a 4th
to get
That's
Carter.
Yeah, that's it. The Bears have traded pick 9 to the Eagles for pick 10 and a 4th next year. One of Howie's 12 picks. So we just got Jalen Carter.
That's nice.
Simple as that.
Has a little exhale, boys. You still got look. I set out tonight getting, at least for this one of 2 players. Jalen Carter is that. I guess now we can focus. Just to go back to the comment, was one of the first in the night. I think it was Joe's. Carter and Gibbs. He said.
I'm not mad.
Now I'm all on the Gibbs train. You got to be like, you go get your card. You got Carter now. There's your guy. There's your trenches. Go now. Go get us the sexy stud like that. Now I'm in. So yeah.
I mean, I still don't.
And I'm not sure. And I'm not sure you have to trade back in to get him.
What do you? I'm sorry. What was that last comment, Kev?
I'm not sure you have to trade back in. I don't think you have to move. You can just sit 30 and wait for him.
I tend to agree with that. The only
Cowboys.
I was
26.
going to say Cowboys, Bucks.
I think the Cowboys are definitely taking that tight end.
Oh, the injured one. Oh, Kincaid, the injured one. Okay.
Yeah. Or Mayer.
Mayer was the one I was thinking of. Somebody had the Eagles mocked to him at 30 Mayer, and I was like, I get it. Goddard's injury history. It's great to have another tight end. We saw with Ertz and him, and you could do 12 personnel. I get all that. I don't think that's going to happen.
What was the age gap between Ertz and Goddard? Because that's what I'm curious about. At some point, you're going to have to do the same thing.
Goddard was drafted in 2018, the year after the Super Bowl.
Okay. So next year would be then because he was.
And Ertz 12, was already a very established player, so I'd have to think.
Ertz was 12?
Gosh, I don't remember.
The Eagles pick is in.
Already?
The Eagles pick is in.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they moved up.
They moved up. They knew
I stopped looking at Twitter
for
reasons.
I guess we all know what it's going to be.
We all know it, but I'm not going to look. I'm not surprised at the Jalen Carter pick. Let's call it what it is. I want to be surprised when they get Jalen Carter. I'm still just watching Bijan on my screen, just like
I
one
see
pick.
The Bijan highlights. Everybody can kind of say,
oh man, that stiff arm to the Oklahoma dude right in his face.
Oh, that was such a good game.
Man, that's okay.
So
that's okay.
Here's what I'll say, just because I was kind of going back and forth on Gibbs and Robinson video. I think Gibbs can catch at least the same rate, if not better, than
He's a better receiver.
Robinson, and I also think that his speed is that it's probably better than Robinson's. That being said, Robinson is a complete every down back, and his ability to catch the ball really popped on tape when I watched it today, and it was something that I didn't like. I knew that Gibbs was the receiving running back in this group, but do not discount Bijan Robinson's ability to catch and make big catches out of the backfield. But that being said, again, it's at 30. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is possible. And I think that if anyone knows where maybe other places, war rooms or draft boards look like, it is Howie. So maybe if we got to move up to get Gibbs, he might.
Howie's psyched.
You might have to do it, but.
Howie's psyched.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just got the second best player.
We just got Jalen Carter. Yeah, I mean, listen,
he's got the second best player in the draft at 9.
I'm getting that 88. If it's not a jersey, it's a jersey. I'm getting an 88 day one. As long as he's wearing 88, day one.
Watch, it'll be somebody else in you.
Day one.
But yeah, I mean, like,
I'm trying to think. No tight ends. Right?
Under the assumption that the pick is Jalen Carter, and it sounds like it's going to be. I mean.
What number's
going into this draft?
Goddard's 88, isn't he?
Yeah, wait, yeah.
Goddard is
88.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
I'll go get a Goddard jersey then.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah. I was gonna say he'd wear 8, but isn't someone else wear 8?
Yeah, Mariota.
Yeah. He's already got the 8, Anthony.
I already got that jersey. No.
I think going into this, if we thought we were going to get Jalen Carter with having to just give up a 4th-round pick, we'd all been elated. I just think the fumes that just got sucked out of you when it could have been, when it couldn't have been. I mean, it literally couldn't. But when it's not Bijan, and that's my guy. But you know what? We got Jalen Carter, and all we had to give up was a 4th-round pick.
And here's
again, assuming that that's the pick, and it's going to be. I mean, who else would it be?
And here's what I'll say again. Here's why I'm like why Jalen Carter was number 1 over Robinson. As far as running backs go, it's kind of just they're a dime a dozen in today's NFL, and it's kind of a shame, but they're a position that there is just a lot of talent at, and that's not a knock against Bijan Robinson because he's a difference maker, and that's why I totally would have been fine with him, but so is Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is absolutely a difference maker, and in my opinion, it's harder to find sort of that talent than it is a running back that you might still be able to get that production with 3 different players.
Georgia had like the best defense 2 years ago that we've ever seen collegiately, and the Eagles now got 3 of them.
You have
Jordan Davis, N'Kobe Dean, and Jalen Carter. Again, assuming he is the pick.
All 3 of them.
He is.
And if it's not, I might throw a little bit of a
exactly. We all know it is.
So yeah, I have stayed off of Twitter for what it's worth.
It is insane how long this pick has been out and they haven't announced it yet.
Because it's Philadelphia, you got to milk it. They know it's. I mean, we're one of the biggest fan bases in the league, but I think it's
here. It comes.
Here it comes.
There are members of the Eagles tweeting that who they got.
And they are milking it.
Oh, they definitely are.
Are they allowed to draft Jalen Reagor again?
In the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle of Georgia.
By the way, NFL is slightly ahead of ESPN. I'm sure you're all shocked by that.
Listen,
my man's just like, I'm a top 10 pick, and I'm going to the team that went to the Super Bowl. Like, It couldn't be better for me.
Jordan Davis.
And he's gonna go.
Nakobe
Obviously, he's gonna go play with
Dean,
two of
he's
his
going
best
to-
friends.
Yeah, he's going to play with some of his. This is.
He was on the phone with Seattle to try and get Jalen, and he got him for the 4th-round pick. Oh, I love this league.
4th rounder. That's it. And next year, by the way.
And the 10th pick is already in.
And next year, which is insane because he has 12 picks next year. So they got plenty of capital to spend. They don't have a 5th, 6th, or 7th this year. So they
So
might
the Bears
want
took an offensive lineman.
Skronsky?
and it's Not Skronsky.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Tennessee's
a
Darnell Wright.
So a defensive line that was borderline record-setting last year, a historical defensive line, just added one of, if not the best.
The best. Let's call him the best. He is the best.
The best.
He was going to be number 1 if the off-field issues
defensive
didn't happen.
line prospect. And yeah, I mean, this is great, and this is why. And again, I was totally fine with Bijan Robinson, and it's insane that the Falcons are the team that took him. But Falcons gonna Falcon.
Their last 3 first-round picks have been Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson.
Right.
Just
For
not even thinking about a trench
Smith,
player.
whatever, Arthur Smith, who's like a
Yep.
defensive head coach. So it's just super fun. But like, okay, here's something we haven't said yet, and here's something I haven't seen yet. Here's your Javon Hargrave replacement for
Correct.
$21 million less.
Yep.
Like that's wild to think. So the rich get richer. That's it,
And I thought it was just going to have to be Davis filling that. Now you got both of them.
man. All right, I'm fine. I'm in. I'm back. You've won me. I'm good.
Yeah,
Now we got
Again,
20
and
picks.
this is just to you still have Gibbs, who's very much in play, and very much would still be a day one playmaker in this offense.
Let's just get nuts and go get the kid from Ohio State or Zay Flowers. Let's just go get nuts. Let's have the best receiving core in the world.
I want my boys so bad for them. That's what I texted my brother about 10 minutes ago. I said, I know we need a running back, but my God, if they don't take Jordan Addison at the end of this first round, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah. Oh, you're an Addison guy.
I'm a Pitt guy.
Okay.
Of course you are.
We don't have. I'm a LaSalle guy. We don't have a football team, so I got nothing. Go blue. That's what I say.
Listen, I was a Pitt Panther who had to freaking cheer for USC this year. It was painful.
I grew up a Michigan fan, so USC is not my bag.
But yeah, I think this is a good move. I honestly think.
Yep.
I think it's the best move.
Analysis.
I think it's the best move for this team. I know Bijan's sexy, but I still think that the running back position is just something that it's attainable in other means than a top 10 pick. And again, it's no disrespect to Bijan, but I just think that when you're a team that, especially coming off a Super Bowl, and this is why I was okay with it, but a team coming off the Super Bowl that has a top 10 pick, that's not an everyday thing. So to have a guy that day one is going to step into your defense and make an impact, I think it's huge. And
He's a special player.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why this is great. I think that anyone that wanted Bijan, you'll find yourself in a good place in no time. Then in short.
This is a hell of a consolation prize.
Derrick Henry is still on the board.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen, we get our guy there, and then we trade 30 and something else, and get Derrick Henry.
If I have to trade 30 to get Derrick Henry, I'll pass. The hell you giving up a first-round pick for Derrick Henry for?
Yeah,
you give up a 4th or you walk. Like that's the highest you go.
Yeah, with his contract,
with his contract,
1 year.
Tennessee's not going anywhere. They don't even max value is a 4th-round pick for him right now. I just don't.
Listen, I'm just drawing parallels from last year. I'm not actually serious.
But wouldn't you rather have Gibbs at 30 than Derrick Henry giving up
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Just in the sense of youth monetarily.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm comfortable walking in next year running back with what we have. I am very comfortable with that.
For 4 games.
What
until Penny gets hurt, and then realistically, it's all
What do
downhill
you
from
think
there.
Kenneth Gainwell's trade value is?
The same thing you gave up for him, a fifth. He's a running.
I agree. I'm thinking, you know, he's a player that could potentially be dealt. He's a player that, you know, maybe we'll give you Gainwell in a fourth, and you get back Henry. And then maybe Nolan Smith drops drastically, and you get him with 30. No, he's not that far. Unless he was smoking.